Hello, my name is Diego. In this video, I'm going to explain how to use Zotero. Zotero is a reference management program to, to manage all of these kind of citations for articles, books, or other types of academic documents. When you write a document like a manuscript for an article or even for an assignment for the university, you need to cite a lot of articles, and there are several programs that helps you with this process. One of them is Zotero. There are other programs like Mendeley or EndNote, but for me, Zotero is the best option because it's free and because it's open source. And by being open source, you have some advantages, as for example, people can modify the program to add additional features or to add different styles, citation styles. And Zotero is also very simple to use, very easy to use, and it's very fast. So I prefer to use Zotero over other programs. And that's the reason why in this video I'm going to explain how to install Zotero and also um, how to use with Microsoft Word and with Google Docs. And I often use Zotero with Google Docs because usually you work in groups, and when you work with a team, it's easy to use a drive, Google Docs, because you can work at the same time with different people. So I'm going to explain how to use Zotero. This is the official website of Zotero. Here you can find that you can download the program. I am using Windows, so I'm gonna install this program. Okay, so this is the program. I'm going to install it and click on yes, next, standard is okay, and install. And I want to launch Zotero right now. And the first time that you install Zotero, you receive this message. And you also launch the program. The program is empty. You know that here the articles are supposed to be here, the documents, the references. But here you have an empty library. So you need to create an account because when you create an account, you can sync to different devices. And with account, you can easily manipulate the documents that you want to reference. So first you need to create an account. So you can create an account in the official website, or you can also create an account with this button of sync. So for example, I want to sync, but I don't have an account. And when you work with different devices and you want to sync your references, just click here. But the first time you need to create an account. So open sync preferences, and here you have noticed that you have to enter an account. So if you already have an account, just click write your username and your password. But probably you don't have an account, so you want to create an account. So click here on create an account. And here in the official website, you can write a username, a password, and a valid email. It's important to write an email that you have access because you will receive a message in your email that you have provided, and you have to activate with that message. So after you activate your Zotero account, you can write here the username and the password of your account. So in my case, I have already had an account. So this is my account. Okay, it's ready, and well, then you click again on sync, and now that you have provided an account, the sync will start automatically. In my case, I have already an account, so that's the reason why I have a lot of articles. So let's suppose that we want to create a new project. So I'm going to create a new collection. I'm going to call it a video because it's for this video. And then it's important to create a collection or every project or every document. And first you want to select the projects that you are working with in this moment. For example, right now I am with this, so click here, and then if you want to add some references, now it's important to have a connector. And you can have a connector for Google Chrome, for Microsoft Edge, and for I think for any kind of browser. So in this case, I am using Google Chrome, and so I'm going to install this connector. This connector will help you to easily cite the articles, the books, or the websites I'm going to add to Chrome. This extension also will add in the the extension for Google Docs is included in this extension. So here we have the Zotero connector. I'm going to pin, and we have this symbol. Uh, this is the extension for Zotero, and this symbol will change depending on the type of article or book or thing that we want to reference. Why we use Zotero connector? And that's because, well, in Zotero you can manually add your references. For example, let's suppose that you want to add an article and you know the title. So this is the title. Suppose that the author is DM. The date is on 2020. But it's much easy to just find the article or the book on the internet and just click on this button. And this icon will change depending on the theme that you want to reference. Let's take an article on the Pacific Solar, for example, and any article about that. Well, here we have an article, and then you notice that this symbol will change. Okay, and I think that the first time you need to set up some things. Okay, got it. And now you have noticed that this symbol has been changed. So when you click here, the article will be saved on the collection that is open. So if, for example, I click on books and I click here, okay, again, sorry, and I click here, now the article will be saved to books. So it's important to select the location or the collection that you want to save the articles. So this symbol will change depending on the theme that you are working with. For example, let's say the same disease, but for a book, for example, the first is like a book. And you can see that the symbol is different. So when you click, it's saved to video, to the collection, but in this case, it's book section. This was an article, but this is a book section. And yes, it's very fast to use this extension because, well, you have noticed that when you click here, all the information is automatically saved. The author, the title, the date, the email, even the abstract is saved. And in some cases, it's even the document, the PDF is already saved. So Zotero is very fast. When you work with Zotero, you work very fast. So now I am going to explain how to use Microsoft Word and Google Docs. First, you have to install the extension for Microsoft Word. Click on Edit, Settings, Cite, and at the end, you can see that you have this option of install the Microsoft Word add-in. Well, in my case, it's already installed. If it's the first time, you have to install it. So click on Install, and installation is successful. So now, when you open Word, you have additional options here in Zotero. Okay, so let's suppose that we write some text, some things, and we want to add a citation. The first time that you add a new citation, you have to select the citation style. It's only for the first time. So let's suppose that we want a Vancouver style. Click OK. And then every time that you cite a paper or a book or something, you this window is open. So let's suppose that we want to cite this article. Well, this article is suggested because it was the last article that we add. So that's the reason it's ready. But for example, if we want to add other article, we can just write here. For example, I don't know if there are some, well, for example, anemia, we have some articles about that. And you can also write the author. And for example, I want to add this document. So for example, I'm going to search if pains is added. If the, well, this is the articles of these authors. Let's suppose that we also want to add this article. So I'm going to write the name of the author. And yes, here we have the article. Click on enter. And in this case, bold citation has been added. And well, at the end of the document, we probably have this part of references. And then here we click on add or edit bibliography, and the references are automatically saved. If you want to change the citation style, we can click on document preferences and change for other kind of citation style, for example, deletion, and this is automatically changed. And we can also add more text, add more citations, and well, let's say that we go with this. Now I'm going to explain how to use Zotero in Google Docs. And well, in Google Docs you have a lot of benefits, a lot of advantages, because in Google Docs you can work in groups with other people. That's the reason why I like Zotero very much. So it's very similar to Microsoft Word. In this option you find add or edit citation. The first time that you use that, you have to select the style, the citation style. So, but well, Google Docs sometimes has this problem. Zotero of Google Docs is that it looks like it's loading, but in fact it's only that the window is minimized. So here you can see that the window has already loaded. So just click here, select the style, and click on OK, and then you have to write. Well, I have added some other articles. So let's suppose that we want to add this article of Lee et al. So I'm going to write the article. It's Lee, and it's here. Click on enter. We have the reference. Well, in this case, the reference is not nature style, I think. But if you want to change, you can just click here and delete the references. Well, let's select Vancouver, and the reference is changed. To write the bibliography, just add with this option, and you can notice that here are the references. If we add other paragraph or other sentence and we want to reference, just again click here, and well, we have the same problem. It's not loading; it's already loaded, but it's on this window. So let's add, for example, this article of Karori. Okay, and let's say that we also want to add other reference for the same sentence, for example, Marx et al. And we have all of these references. So that's how Zotero works in Google Docs. There is also some interesting thing about this, is that, well, when you write an article or a document, you probably have to reference or cite a lot of things. So a lot of times you have to click here, and but also you have this keyboard shortcut. The problem is that sometimes this combination Control Alt and C uh, has has other functions. For example, let's say that here we have the sentence and we want to add a citation, so you can use Control Alt C. But when I use that keyboard shortcut, I have this symbol. So you can change that keyboard shortcut by clicking on the icon in Zotero. You click on right click on the Zotero icon, then options, advanced, and here you have this Google Docs integration. You can enable or disable Google Doc integration, but here you can change the shortcut. In my case, I use Alt C. That's okay. So now I just have to refresh the document, and you have noticed that now my keyboard shortcut is just Alt C. So Alt C, and well, I have the same problem. So here is the window, and I can add the reference, for example, this. Thank you for watching the video. I hope it was helpful. Bye.